All right, folks, Brian Blessing in Las Vegas, ATS.io. Merry Christmas, happy holidays. And we're going to give you the old get out game on a Sunday. The Sunday night football game is a dandy. And we're talking out of conference play with both teams, a lot to play for. Tennessee at Green Bay. The advance number at the Superbook over at the Westgate was Green Bay minus 4.5. Based on results from the weekend, you had Green Bay now minus 455.5. Tennessee's 10-4. They're tied atop the AFC South with Indianapolis with a couple of weeks to go. Green Bay, they control their own destiny to be the number one seed in the NFC. They basically have it now. And there's only one team getting a bye, and they're on the fast track to getting that after New Orleans loses to the Chiefs. Now, as for this game, you got a Tennessee football team that is going to be a playoff matchup nightmare for teams because they have Derrick Henry, they've got Brown, Jonnu Smith, the terrific tight end. It comes down to, does Tannehill make good decisions with the football? The rub with Tennessee is their defense can be really, really sketchy. They beat the Lions 46-25, but there were times when Stafford was shredding them down the middle of the field. In the win over the Lions, Derrick Henry had 147 yards, and that was could have been a lot more because they kind of called the dogs off. Corey Davis had a big game instead of A.J. Brown. Davis had 110 yards. So they have weapons all over the place. And the Packers, the question with them at times is their defense. Now listen, Aaron Jones, solid game against Carolina. 20 carries, 145 yards, and a touchdown. Aaron Rodgers actually had a very quiet game, especially he and Davante Adams. I'd look for them to get that connection going in. I would tell you this. I would play Davante Adams props over whatever they're hanging because he was quiet this past weekend. And, Rodgers only threw for 143 yards against the Panthers, but he didn't need to do too much more than that. And Carolina's offense, listen, that game was a weird game. You had Bridgewater at the one, fumbled the ball and reaching over the pile. So Carolina did a lot to kind of give that game away. They kept fighting, had a chance at the end. But it was one of those deals where you can't play at this high-octane level week after week after week. But know the Packers want the bye, want to play better football than they did against the Panthers. So I do think they'll play well. The one thing I would say, the total is 55.5, and that's understandable the way these two teams play. But they're playing in Green Bay. Now, the Packers have played 3 straight unders. They're on their home turf. Can they dictate the way this game's played? And this is a Tennessee team that's gone over the total 5 of the last 6 times. Who dictates the way the game's going to be played? And, oh, by the way, Tennessee would be more than comfortable to let Henry run and pound it down Green Bay's throat and have the clock run too. I think in a weird way, I think you got to look at under the inflated total. Don't forget the weather. It's Sunday Night Football. The high in the day is 28. So this is a game that's going to be played right around 19, 20 degrees. Pretty cold conditions at the time of this taping. We don't know if it's windy or snow or blustery, but it's cold nonetheless. I think we zag it and come under the total on this one, but it's a very intriguing matchup with two teams that have designs of making a run in the postseason.